Welcome back to Dubbzi Bricks for another episode of Building Gotham City in Lego, and there's a bit of carnage here. We've destroyed part of the base here. Reason being, I needed some 4x8 plates for the Tantive IV, and this was the only place that I had them. So I was going around pulling them all up, and I need to replace them with some 4x4s, which I have got plenty of. So what I'm going to be doing is replacing all of them to start with, move the structure, I'm going to have back into its place, and then start mapping out this area just here. This is where the cathedral is going to be going within Gotham City. I would like to work on the GCPD, however, I still need to get some parts in for that, and also I want to make a decision on a couple of details on there, which I'm not 100% sure of just yet. Things like a helipad to go on the top and how much taller up I go with the structure. So the first things first, what we need to do, clear those structures out of the way, get that all plated off, and then we can start mapping out where the cathedral is going to go, work out exactly where the stock exchange is going to go, and then I can start working on a garden area in between the two, a little park area, so to speak. I want to start bringing the city to life, and I think things like flowers and trees is the perfect way to do so. Add a couple of minifigures in there as well. So that's the plan for this update. So without further ado, let's move those buildings out of the way, let's get tied in, and then let's get building. And that's that little job all sorted. And it's so nice just seeing the plates all back in place. And we've done the same over this side as well. And on every other part of the city where we did a little bit of a destruction. So this is where the stock exchange is going to be. And I'm just going to tile the front area there, put a couple of trees and benches, things like that. Maybe even something like a hot dog stand, maybe. In this area here, this is where the cathedral is going to be. And then this is going to be a park of some description. So it's not going to be massive, but at least we'll be able to get some much needed colour into the city. So we'll have some tall trees in there as well. So I'm going to have a look online now for some inspiration for the cathedral to go here. Once we've drawn it, we'll work out what the footprint's going to be like. We'll make the area for that all set in place and do all the tiling around it. And then I can make a start on the park. So I've recently had a visit back to the UK, and whilst there I had a couple of parcels arrive, which we have here in front of us. Whilst also in the UK, I picked up the Lego Batman. It was just purely so I could get this copy of Bane in an Arkham Asylum jumpsuit. And I really wish I'd picked up more of these and just changed the heads over. I think it'd been the perfect way of doing so. However, I do believe there is another one of these coming out very soon with a different villain. So I'm sure I'll pick some of those up when it comes out. Now, the first parcel we had come in was from Game of Bricks, and Game of Bricks kindly send through the likes to me each month for my mocks, and I'll leave a link to their website in the description, and I highly recommend checking their products out. They are really top quality. And remember, if you use the code Dubbzi, you will get 20% off of your order, and all orders do help the channel. So let's just try and get into this one. So let's have a look and see what we've got in here. I can't remember all of the parts that I ordered. There are some bits in here that I know I haven't had before, so I'm excited to see how they all work out. So first up, we have a traffic light. I can't remember ordering that, but it's going to be interesting to see what they are like. The lamppost here in black. Now, I did have some green ones, however, I wanted to put some black ones around Gotham. I've got the drill bit now to drill through the official Lego ones, but I thought I'd just see what these are like, as it might be a lot easier for me to just use those rather than spend hours drilling through official Lego pieces. We have some 30cm warm white lights, some 30cm black connector cables, some 30cm warm white lights, 30cm connector cables, and 15cm wireless connectors. And this is my favourite piece that Game of Bricks sell. We have another lamp. And we have another traffic light. And another lamp. Some 6 long connector boards. And I get really low on connector boards, so it's glad they've arrived. Some 30cm warm white lights. Some 4 long connector boards. And another lamp. So yeah, really look forward to adding the lamps into the park of Gotham City and seeing how good they look. And this parcel here came from Super Brick Figs, and they asked me if I would review some of their minifigures, and I said yeah, by all means send them over. And again, I'll leave a link in the description of video, and I'm really excited to crack into these. It's a really well packed parcel here. These are fantastic. So these are Joker henchmen, and I was contacted, as I said, by Super Figs asking if I'd like to review these, and I said, yeah, by all means. He did warn me that I needed to get the arms for this minifigure, but look at the print detail on these. And they do use official Lego pieces, and I believe they're power printed, but yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, these are superb. Really impressed with the quality of the print on these minifigures, and they are going to look so good either around the Ace Chemicals or possibly even around the cathedral. So yeah, there's another one there. Yeah, absolutely. And look at the print detail on the back of the Joker. These are fantastic. So impressive. Thank you so much, Super Figs, for sending those over to me. And yeah, looking forward to adding them into Gotham City when we get around to the storytelling. And then the gun, that is brilliant as well. I haven't got any of these guns, and I do want to try and get some so I can put them in the hands of the villains. They've got such a gangster feel about them. And then we have some dynamite again. So yeah, fantastic stuff. Thank you very much. And here we have a couple of sketches I've come up with for the cathedral. Now this is only the bottom half. There's going to be a lot of height to it, and I'm not sure how the top section is going to be. And this is a side view of it. Now this image on screen now is one that I got, was a lot of inspiration for the design I've got here. And there are also a couple of Lego builds as well out there, which also gave me some ideas of style, which I think will come in quite handy. Now, I did put a poll on the channel a few weeks back asking what colour should I build the cathedral in, and the dark tan colour was the most popular, and I do think that will be a good colour for the cathedral. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to try and knock up the base of the cathedral, see if I can get it how I want it to be, and then we'll make the necessary amendments to this section. And here we have our pathway going through the park, which is going to be next to the cathedral. And we've got a little pond in here as well, a couple of koi fish in there. But yeah, I'm not sure about the look of the pathway. I put the shrubs around the edges here just to give it a more natural look, I suppose, the best way of putting it. But I think until I've got everything else in here, it's going to be hard to tell whether or not this is going to work or not. But happy-ish with it so far. Now what I want to do is put some lampposts in here just to light up this area. So I've got the Dubbzi Bricks lamps just here, and I want to hide the wires underneath the grass effect. So let's start putting those in, and I'll check back in once we're done so. And there we have the lamps all on, and it's given off just enough light. It's giving it that real atmospheric look. Really happy with how that's come out. And next up, we're going to be putting some walls along the edge just here and coming along here as well to separate the park area from the cathedral grounds. And once I put the wall along here, I'll just start filling this area up here with more of the shrubbery. On this part here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do just yet until I've actually got the footprint of the new stock exchange all confirmed. The other one at the moment is just a fraction too big, but it is something that's going to be hopefully quite easy to amend. And there we have the start of the wall around the edge there. I've run out of these panel pieces just here, so I need to order some more of those in. But I've decided to put some gates on here just so it could be shut at night time, if that's what they decided to do in Gotham City. But I just feel like it just gives it a more Gothic-like feel having that on there. Now we've got the wall in place and gone as far as we can, I'm going to start putting a couple of trees there. One other thing I am considering doing is actually having a bridge going over here. So I was thinking about having some graves along this part next to the cathedral, if there's room. And I thought it'd be a good way that people could get access to the graveyard from the pathway here. So you go over the pond there. But that's why I've got the gap in the wall just there. But we'll see how it looks once I've got a little bit more of this all built up. And there we have the park with all the plants and the greenery all in place. And we got the Joker goons just running through. And I can't get over how good those minifigures look. The printing on them is fantastic. I wasn't that sure about how I was going about the park area initially. However, once I filled that corner in, I just liked it instantly. So a lot happier with that now. And with the bridge, there's a couple of amendments I made to it. But again, that's something I think is looking a lot better as well. Just need to order in some more of these pieces here so I can continue the detail along the wall just there. So the idea is this is the entrance to the Gotham Park, and it would come along here, and then the park would continue this way off of the edge of the table. Now, in regards to the cathedral here, I have shrunk the size of it. I've reduced it by about 6 studs, and that's just no me to bring it back this way, and I think that's going to look a lot better. I'm not so worried about the size of the footprint because it's the height in the cathedral, which I think is where I'm going to try and make it look grand. So yeah, I'm not too worried about the fact I've had to make that little bit smaller. And over this side here, just need to get the new shape and size of the stock exchange. It's going to be very, very similar to how I've got it at the moment. I just need to tweak it a little bit. And then once I've got that all sorted, then I can finish off the park area along that part just there. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving the Joker goons. They are looking fantastic. So thanks again, Super Brick Figs, for sending those through to me. And once again, I will leave a link in the description so you can check out the items on there. This is the second set of things that I've been sent by Super Brick Figs. They sent me some printed tiles last year some went, and they were fantastic as well, so I'd highly recommend checking them out. Now I just thought I'd do a before and after. So here is the before and here is the after. So quite a change to this part of Gotham City. Anyway, that's all we have time for. I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. If you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Gotham City in Lego, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. But thanks for coming by. Till the next time, bye for now.